All right, Brunello Cucinelli, after 2 years, is launching 6 new unisex fragrances. If you recall, I bought the Pour Homme and Pour Femme in their Milan boutique just after Aix-en-Provence when I was there 2 years ago in 20. Well, it'll be 2 years in April of 2025. So I bought them in 2023. They didn't get the launch here in the States for almost a year. Now I see them selling at Neiman Marcus. They're overpriced fragrances, at least to me they are for what you get. But I think both of them are pretty good, with the male being my favorite, but also the feminine one to be not so feminine. Does that make sense? The feminine one is created by Daphne Bouget, and then Olivier Cresp has created the Pour Homme. Again, the Pour Homme is my favorite. The feminine has chestnut note, but it's a very woody, musky fragrance. And then the male is cypress, which is very fresh, woody, and aromatic. So I think pretty solid fragrances, but very overpriced. I paid almost 200 euros for each one. So those were really, really pricey. And I don't even know how much they are here. Probably around the same price. I don't think I would do these over $200. But now they have a collection called Incanti Poetici fragrances, or, perfumes. So it's interesting, 2 years later they're launching 6 fragrances, and I guess they're now going to get into it, and probably 2 years later they'll launch even more fragrances. The new fragrances are created by 3 Givaudan perfumers and 3 Firmenich perfumers, and Daphne Bouget is the only one that has redone a new fragrance. Olivier Cresp hasn't. But then there's also Alberto Moria's, and there's Florian Gallo. Florian Gallo's fragrance is a fig forward fragrance, and I feel like he's a fig guy. He did Mystic Bliss for Goldfield and Banks. It's a fig. He did Fig Porn for Born to Stand Out. Another fig, so I guess he likes to work with fig. But the first fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is VENTO ARDENTE. Is that how you say it? It's Jordi Fernandez. This is saffron, leather, pepper, and amyris. What do you guys think of this one? I think that Jordi Fernandez does great work with leathery fragrances, so I'm going to have to see what it's all about. Saffron leather is a combo that I see quite often, and the pepper comes in here. Amyris, maybe a bit of a resinous ambery thing. None of the fragrances sound too exciting to me, and if they're around $200 each, again, I don't know who they're appealing to. They're appealing to wealthy people, I think. Because, I mean, if I'm going to pay $200, I want some substance. And these fragrances, the originals, to me, smelled great. I'm not complaining about the way they smelled, but I don't think they were substantial fragrances. So I personally think the fragrances are not worth more than $150. These two here, I would say somewhere in between 140, 150 is good. But I paid 200 euros for these. I think it might have even been more. So let's see what the price point is going to be for these 6 fragrances. But I just hope they're not going to be expensive. So continuing with the Givaudan perfumers, we've got a Quentin Bisch fragrance here. It's Sandalwood, Osmanthus, Vetiver, and Cumin. And this is called Sogno Notturno. I think that's how you say it in Italian. This sounds like Ganymede to me, guys. Osmanthus, Vetiver, maybe the Ensalade from Marc-Antoine Barrois. I don't know, man. Let's see what this one's all about. So the next one is created by Benoist Lapouza. I just spoke about him in the Angel Share Paradis, but he created the original Angel Share. I'm not sure if he's done the flanker for it, but he's doing a fragrance here for the house of Brunello Cucinelli. Vie ETEREE. Is that how you say this one? VIE ETEREE. VA? I don't know. So it's cardamom, cedar, basil, citron, and bergamot. So it's mostly spices and citruses and woods. Aromatics too, I should say. This sounds like it's leaning masculine. I think so far they're all leaning masculine. That's what I'm seeing from the different fragrances. So the next one is created by Florian Gallo. As I mentioned, he's with Firmenich, and he has done the Fig Porn for Born to Stand Out, Mystic Bliss, which is another fig fragrance for Goldfield and Banks. This is also featuring figs, but this is called SOFFIO ZENIT. It's lavender, labdanum, figs, and rosemary. So we've got aromatics, spiciness with the lavender and the rosemary. We've got the labdanum, which is giving you that amber experience, resin, and then the figs. Is it the leaves we're gonna see? Is it the fruits? It doesn't say anything except for figs. Whenever I see just figs, I feel like it's the combo of the fruits and the leaves in the tree. But it depends. Some don't smell fruity at all, and it says figs. Some say fig leaves, and it smells fruity. So it's a bit confusing. But I'm a fig fragrance lover, and I want to get my nose on SOFFIO ZENIT. The next one is Ombra Lyrica, created by Alberto Morias. This one sounds the most boring to me, unfortunately. It's Gaiac wood, olibanum, oud, and cedar. It's like an oud bomb with some resins. And I shouldn't say oud, like a wood bomb with a resin, like a smoky resin in there. This one also sounds very masculine, although the SOFFIO ZENIT sounds a bit more unisex, maybe even feminine leaning if it's fruity. But this next one, the Ombra Lyrica, sounds the most boring to me and also the most masculine. And then the last one is created by Daphne Bouget. Remember, she created the Pour Femme, the original from Brunello Cucinelli, featuring the musky notes and the chestnut note. This is called Brezza Gentile. It's bitter orange, ambroxan, and patchouli. Now this one sounds fun to me. A juicy, musky, ambery patchouli fragrance. I like the idea of that one a lot and would love to get my nose on it. But again, I hope the prices are not too high. These were really, really expensive for me. Even paying euros for them was expensive. Although I got the tax back, the tax refund. Here, the prices are around 200, and also that does not include tax. So I think the price point is just too high for these fragrances. I just hope they lower the prices or they release these for less expensive. What do you guys think? Are they out yet in Italy? Have you gotten your nose on them? Do you want to get your nose on these fragrances from the house of Brunello Cucinelli? What are your thoughts on the Brunello Cucinelli Pour Homme and Pour Femme? Which one do you like better between the two if you have tested both out? If you're a man, do you wear the Pour Femme? I mean, even though it says Pour Femme, I felt like it wasn't uber feminine because it doesn't have any floral notes. It's the chestnut and the musky notes, basically. I can't remember all the entire notes breakdown for it. And the Pour Homme, to me, does smell better. You can also, I think, layer the two together, and I think it'll smell great because they're not really thick and dense. They have room to play around with layering and things like that. So that's the other thing, and that's why I think these are not worth the price point for you guys. If they end up at discounters, maybe even better, but I haven't seen these at the discounters yet. Have you guys seen them at the discounters? Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm quite curious to get my nose on these new Brunello Cucinelli fragrances that are going to launch soon. And I will report back as soon as possible, as soon as I get my nose on them, and let you guys know all about them. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye-bye.